Hello everyone, that Manga Kid here. I'm making this video in response to Manga Hoarder's video about 5 manga titles that you would recommend for new readers to manga. Series that would be easy for people to get into if they've never read manga before. So I'll just get right into it. First off, I chose The God's Lie by Kaori Ozaki. I chose this one because it is a one-shot, it's quite short, the art is stunning inside it, so I think that it's visually very easy to look at for people. It's not off-putting in any sense. It's just a sweet story. It's sad. It evokes emotion, and it's very, very quick, so it's not intimidating in size. So definitely, I would recommend this to people who've never read manga before because it's just one short story, um, but one that really packs a punch. If you've read this, you know how absolutely lovely this story is. So it'd be definitely good for newcomers. Next, I would recommend Parasite by Hitoshi Iwaki. I recommend this because this story is so fantastic. This doesn't have to be a manga, this could be any format and it would still be amazing. So I think this would absolutely appeal to anybody. It's got action, it's got horror, romance, political stuff. Um, you know, it's got themes of what it means to be human and all of this stuff just packed into 8 volumes of amazing storytelling. Um, this is also an older title. It started running in the late 80s and through the 90s, but it survived this long for a reason. And I think that people in the West, like friends of mine, would definitely get right into this story if they tried it, regardless of the fact that it's manga. So I think it's good in that sense. That it could really get people into manga if you read this. It's so exciting. There's never a dull moment in this story, and I think it'd be really easy for people to latch onto this and then move on to other titles from this one. Next, I have High School Debut by Kazune Kawahara. I chose this because this is one of the first manga series I ever completed reading. I got it from the library way, way, way back when, and I've read it 6 or 7 times since. Um, it's so funny. This is hysterically funny. Obviously, if you hate romance stories and have no interest in it, this is not one for you. But definitely, I would say um, people who enjoy comedy and friends and romance and all that kind of those themes would absolutely love this. And this is a great first shojo series for anybody just starting out. Um, it's pretty lighthearted and easy to read. It's not too heavy on the drama. It's more comedic than anything else, so I think it's really easy for newcomers to get into. Um, yeah, so High School Debut is absolutely one I recommend to anybody who's never read it, but definitely for newcomers, I would think it's very easy to get into. Next, I've got Inuyasha by Rumiko Takahashi. This, again, Inuyasha was one of the ones that I got into when I was very, very young. One of the first anime I ever watched, one of the first manga I read, and I just love it. It's so good. Um, it's funny. It's got action. It's got a fantasy element to it. I think that kids would really, really enjoy this one. And yeah, I mean, even adults, I would say, would enjoy this. There is some nudity in it. Um, for me now, this is a nostalgia thing more than anything else. But I think for like 13, 14 year olds, if you're starting out reading manga, this is a good one to start because it's so action packed and just the ensemble cast is hilariously funny together. Um, Definitely a good one. But I wouldn't probably recommend this to my friends who are my age. If this was the first thing they were going to read. But if I had a younger cousin or something who was around 13, 14 and was looking for manga to read for the first time, I'd definitely say Inuyasha. Um, yeah, it's just so funny. And like Manga Hoarder said with Ranma Half, um, Rumiko Takahashi's pretty good at those kind of stories where it's just fun and lighthearted, and it's something that you don't necessarily have to read the entire series to get the gist of it. But this is a fun one and definitely good for beginners, I think. And finally, and I think this is the one that I would absolutely recommend the most, would be A Silent Voice by, I always forget the name, Yoshitoki Oima. This series, I think, because this story about bullying and coming to terms with being a bully and the effects of bullying is so universal. Any culture can relate to this. Anywhere in the world, you would be able to relate to this. Um, so I think this one's just so accessible to everybody, that this doesn't have to be taking place in Japan. It doesn't have to be a manga for this story to reach people. So I would definitely recommend this to friends, sorry, who have never read manga before because this story is so touching, and just universal. So, and again, the art, the covers are gorgeous, um, and the art is pretty good, and it's a simple story, and I believe the author was really young when she wrote this, or she's still really young. So you can tell it's a beginner author. So if you're a beginner manga reader, it kind of goes hand in hand. And I think you'd really enjoy this if you were just starting out to read manga. Um, yeah, it's just so, and it's also short. It's only 7 volumes, so it's not too much to get into. I think it's a good starting manga because it's so universal. The topics and the art and everything is just really nice. So yeah, A Silent Voice is definitely one that beginners should read. So that's my list of 5. Thank you for watching. If you have your own list of 5, definitely make a video or post in the comments. And yeah, thanks Manga Hoarder for the topic, and thanks for watching. See ya.